Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me and thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me and watch this video. For today's project we will use, I had some place cards that I purchased from Dollar Tree and I will use them. We will also use ribbon. And this one is, I don't remember where I bought it. I just had it in my stash. It doesn't matter, but this one is approximately 1/2 inch wide. And I will use this paper collection, Cotton Fields. This is something I had in my stash, so this is what I'm gonna use. You could use just about any paper, but I would suggest to use paper double-sided. So as you can see, this one, this collection, it's a double-sided paper with some tags, some small cutouts, and there was another page right here with some tags, so I will use some of that. And for this project we will use only one sheet, plus we will need additional paper for decoration. I will also use some stickers. Those are clear stickers. I don't remember where I purchased them. When I find some nice ones that I like, I just buy them and keep them in my tray. So for this project, I am gonna use this paper, and this is what we will make. I made one already. So it has a ribbon as a closure. So when you open the ribbon, you have little folio. And this is how it looks like. I put some little embellishments around that, little tags. Here I got little envelope. Here another space for the tag. More spaces to tuck something in. In here you can open this up by flipping the side, opening, and you got another hidden space for some of your treasures. And to close it, you just slip this through, just like that, and fold it over. So there is actually no fasteners, nothing like that. When you close it, you can turn it over, and you got additional space on the other side using the same concept as I did on this side. So in here, again, little closure, we can open it, and you got some space to put some of your treasures. To close it, we just slip this underneath, fold it over, and it's closed. In here we have little pocket where you can put whatever you want, little notes, little tags, whatever you want. And this is the last page also with little sleeve, and in here I made that double sleeve so you can actually put something through that is really long, and it's gonna go through both pockets, or you can put it one in here and then you can put something into this small one. So as you can see, I used in this two sides, and this is the reason why I'm suggesting double-sided paper. So now to close this, we just wrap the ribbon around and we tie it. So I used short ribbon. It could be a little bit longer, but this one works. So here it is. That is our little project that we will make today. So to make this, I will cut this sheet, and as you can see, this one has a little cutout. So let me trim this down to 12 inches. And now I will cut this, I will cut it this way, into 6 inches. And that will actually create our little folio. So now let's score this. So we will score this at, and I think I'm gonna start from this side, 3.5 inches, 7 inches, and 10.5. So we will score the second sheet the same way, 3.5, 7, and 10.5. So now we will fold our scores. Just like that. Now you see that both papers have 1, 2, 3 scores. So we will take one sheet, we will fold it just like that. So I'm choosing this side to be on the outside, and this short piece we will glue it just on 2 sides, right here, and on the bottom we will fold it over, and that will create our first pocket. So now this side we want the same color on the inside, so we will do the opposite. We will take this short piece, this short fold, and we will apply glue only from this fold to the edge, and also only on both sides, just like that. So this, we will glue it. We will apply this sheet all the way to the fold, paying attention to your score, and just close it, just like that. So now when we open it, we have this really long sheet on both sides. Now this side right here is still open because we applied the glue only to 2 sides, and we could have applied glue to the third side, but I am gonna just run really tiny strip of glue on the inside and glue it this way, just like that, and you got the same result. So now if we fold this back and forth just like that, that's how we are coming up with the both sides. And this is exactly what I have done in here. As you can see, this is my first one that I made as a prototype, and this is the second one with the first pocket right here and right here. So this is what we created so far. Now this has also pocket on this side, which currently is not that visible because it just blends, all the paper blends, but the pocket is right here. So now we will start decorating this. So as I mentioned to you, we will be using some leftover pieces, and I do have some in here and I have some right here. So I do have few more of these, so I am planning to use up some of those little strips. So I have this one left. So let me cut this one to size, or at least trim it. Okay, I want only the decorational piece, and I do want to cut this straight. So I will cut it just like that. Let me trim off those ends. Okay. So now this piece measures approximately 9 inches, and we will create the pocket on the bottom for both sides. So this is 3.5 and this is 3.5. So we will cut this piece to 7 inches. And actually I'm gonna cut it just a little bit smidge longer, because when we score it, I guess a little bit of that stock is gonna get into the score. We can always trim it and make sure that everything fits properly after the score. So now I will score this piece at 3.5 inches right here, just like that on the middle. So now this piece will be positioned just like that on the bottom. And now I'm trying to match up my score, which is fine. And now this one is just a little bit too long, because when I try to close this, it's almost overlapping over the score, and this side is fine. So I am just gonna trim this one side a little bit, just to make sure that it fits perfectly into our page, just like that. So we will make this really, really easy, and we will apply glue on 3 sides. So we will apply the glue only onto 3 sides. Just a small strip of glue. And this middle score will be our guide. So we're going to position all the way to the bottom on that score. And now adjust to make sure that the bottom is even with both pages. So now, as you can see, we created pocket, one pocket that goes through both pages. So this is what we have so far. And this is exactly what I have created in here. You can see we got it here, and it's going to the other side. So now for this side, we will create a little bend. So I do have some of this cardstock left, or this is paper stock from some of the packs that I had, and I will create little bend right here. just the way I have done it on this side. So to do that, I will trim, or I will cut band approximately 3/4 of an inch. I think this is wide enough. And now, when I position this band on this page, I am really not measuring anything. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just mark where it ends, and I will just cut it according to my mark. All right, let's double check if the dimension is fine, and it is. So I will glue this again, just a tiny bit of glue on each side. And we glue it to the middle of the page. Now this paper pack came with different catapults. So I think I will use one of those, and maybe I think I'm going to use this blue one. So I do want to trim it a little bit because I want a little bit smaller size. So I'm going to make this one approximately 1.5 inches in size. Actually, it's going to be just a tiny bit longer because I don't want to cut out the sign on this. So you can make this piece as big or as small as you really like, or you can use whatever you have and just cut around that little design, and this will be my piece. So everything is possible. I think that's a nice message. But if I place it just like that, it's going to be just a little bit too plain. So I am going to take some more of my leftover paper, and I think I'm going to use something a little bit darker as a border. So as you can see, I got this left, and I will just glue it just like that on top of it, leaving a little bit, maybe 1/8 of an inch border, just like that. And now I will just trim it, leaving the same type of border or the same measurement of the border all around. And now this will give you totally different look. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna apply the glue only right here on the middle, and don't go too far out. You don't want to glue the band. And I will apply it just like that. But it has to be straight. Okay. So now we squish it, and we have really 1, 2, 3, 4 pages done. So for the next page, I made it a little cutout. So I think I will use this paper that I have left over to create that cutout. Now this one, I'm gonna make it a little bit longer because as you can see in here, I have, this is where the circle was. So I do want to cover this up. So I'm gonna cut this paper to 6 inches in height. And this one I have 3. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger, and I'm gonna make it 3 1/4. Just like that. And now I do want to create the angle. I found that the easiest way is to position on the board, or you can actually measure it and mark it up where you want to cut. I think this is easy enough. So I want the top to be pretty slim. I'm going to do it 1 inch and maybe 1 inch in here on the bottom. So I'm going to cut it just across. So I got 1 inch in here and 1 inch on the bottom. And I will cut this just like that across. And that will be my pocket on this side. So before I glue it, I want to check if measurements are right. And this one is just a tiny bit too long. So I will trim the top just a tiny bit and try it again. So now that will be my pocket for this page. But before I glue this, I want to use little border as I did right here to match the other page. You know, so for this, maybe I use this. It has a little bit pink in here, so I think it's gonna match. And what I will use is some of those. I will use the trimmer to put a little bit decoration. Okay, I think that's long enough. So now I do want to make this little border and give it a little bit different look to that edge. So let me just cut this so it's easier to work with this. And I will cut it a little bit more than 1/2 inch because I don't want to cut those beautiful flowers. So this will be the border right here. So now I am gonna apply a strip of glue right here so I can glue those flowers. And I will glue it just like this. Okay, so now I will come on the other side and just trim it. You can use knife. And I need to put a little bit glue in here. All right. So maybe I can use scissors and just trim this and trim that. And now we can glue it into place. So on this one, we will apply glue only to those 2 sides. Just like that, and we have next page done. Okay, just like this. So this page, it's similar to this one. So now we will work on this. So I think I might use this one since there is a little bit of that blue. I think I can pull that off by using this. And I really want to use blue, and I don't have any small pieces of blue, so that's why I will use this. So this piece we will trim too. I'm just gonna measure whatever I did in here, and we're gonna do the same thing. So this piece is 7 1/4 by 10. Now we're gonna do it 9 1/4, 9 3/4. So 7 1/4 by 9 3/4. So 9 3/4 by 7 1/4. And now we will score this. So we will score this at, I am gonna make it the same as this one. So we will score at 2 inches, turn around, and 2 inches. Now the long way, we will score at also 2 inches, turn around, and 2 inches. So now when we fold all the scores, and let's burnish them, this is what we have. It's almost like prepping for a box. So you got one square here, 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 and on this side. So I am gonna mark this up just to show you what I'm gonna do, because it's really difficult to see all these scores. So maybe I do it on this side. So I'm just gonna draw the line right on that score. In here and in here. And I'm doing this just so you can see how I'm gonna cut this. So I don't want this green to show, and that's where the score is. So I'm cutting before the score, like maybe 1/8 of an inch. I'm gonna go to the angle all the way to that corner, but I don't want to see this green. And I'm gonna do the same thing in here, just a small angle, but cut out all that green. So now we cut out the square, but it is little angled on both sides. And we're gonna do this to all 4 corners. So I'm cutting out the fold where the score was. We don't want that. Little angle to the corner, little angle, and cut this out. And the same thing on this side, little angle to the corner, and the same thing on this side. So this is what we have. Now, I don't like square corners. I don't know, I don't want anything pointy pretty much, especially when you try to open it. So I am just gonna round them just a little bit, and I will round all corners. And it's not working with me, come on. Okay. Much better. Now you can also round the corners with the scissors and you're gonna have the same result. So it doesn't really matter. But now when you fold that, and try to fold that to make sure that the angle that you cut it in here, it's good enough and you can close this with ease. This one I need to adjust the angle just a little bit because it's not folding right. So now I'm pretty happy with that fold. So now I will glue this just like that. So I will apply the glue to entire back. And we're gonna glue this just like that on the middle. Let's make sure that this is all stuck. And now from the leftover pieces that we have of this, we can create little design, or I still have this left, and if I want to match it with that, that's what I can use, and I think I will. So I am gonna cut approximately 1 inch piece. Okay. And actually, I might glue those two pieces together because this one is not double-sided and I want it to look like it is. So you could use one-sided paper, but then you have to cover the other side. All right, so now I will just trim this. And now it looks like this is double-sided. And I wanted to create it like that because I want to match both sides, plus when you open this either side, you can see that it's gonna be pretty edge. So this is too long, so I'm gonna cut it just about here, and that's gonna be approximately 3.5 inches. So 3.5 inches. I will just cut it straight down. So that's the piece. So now this piece I will apply, and I think I want to do it this way. I will apply a little bit of glue just so we can grab this, and I will apply it right here, somewhere on the middle between the top and the bottom, just like that. So now we are not done with this yet. Because I'm trying to coordinate everything, I have this piece left, and this we will make it as a closure. So I am gonna cut another 1 inch strip, and we're gonna position it in here but towards the edge, because you see when you close it, you want to be able to get underneath on this side. Again, I'm gonna just mark it with my finger where the cut's supposed to be, and I will just cut it straight down. And let me check if this will work, and it is perfect. So now I'm gonna glue this, and I'm gonna apply glue only at this edge and this one, just like that. So now I apply it in here, making sure when you close it, you can still see the space in between the flap and this piece that we are just gluing it. So this will serve as a closure. So now, as you can see, we can slide this right underneath, just like that. And now I will fold this over, just like that, and that becomes our closure. So in the previous one that I made, I put a little decoration in here, and we will do that, but let's make the pages first and then we will decorate. So now, as you can see, it's really easy to open it. We can place something on the inside, and I have one little card in here. We can put it right there, and now we can close it just like that. So this page is done. So as you can see, we just completed all the pages on this side. So now I am going to put little MaKala sticker because this will be the back. So let me just apply the glue. And I will glue this just like that. All right. So now we can work on the opposite side right here. So I am also going to do the same thing. So if this is the back, just like this one, when we open this way, we got another pocket, just like the one that we just made. And I did this on purpose because I think I wanted to have enough room to store quite a few different things in such a small package. So I really like this orange. So let me see if I have any more. And I do. So we will also cut this down to 9 3/4 by 7 1/4. Since we got the cutting board already out, we will, from the leftover piece, we will cut piece 5 3/4 by 3 1/4, and this will be this side pocket right here. So I'm going to put this on the side for right now, and we need to score this piece. So we will score it just exactly the same way as we scored the piece for the other side, which will be 2 inches, turn around, 2 inches, turn to the side, 2 inches, turn around, and 2 inches again. So now we fold over and burnish all 4 sides. And now we will cut this again the same way as we did previously. We're going to cut out those squares, but we will cut them out on a small angle. One is out. 2, 3, and 4. So now before we do anything, I want to make sure that this is closing properly, and it does, so I don't have to do any adjustments. And now we can round the corners just the same way as we did the previous piece. So I am just gonna round all of them. Okay, they are all done. Now when I close it, I can see it that this side is lifting up just a tiny bit. So I am just gonna increase that little angle right here, just a tiny bit. So now it will close freely, as you can see. So now we're gonna glue this right here to this side. And let's make sure that this is really stuck. Okay. All right. I have some little tags from this collection, little things we can put on the inside, and I will do that just like that. So now we have these leftover pieces, so we need to cut strip to 3.5 inches, and this is double-sided, so I don't have to cover the other side, and the width is going to be 1 inch. So this will be our closure. Now when you're making closure, make sure that this strip, you glue it to this piece on the outside. So your closure will be on this side, right here. So you close it just like that. The reason for it is we are not using any magnet, any fastener, anything like that. So when you close your page, this will keep it closed. If you put it on the opposite side, like this, you will have a problem because it will keep on opening. So that's why we will glue it right here. So now I am going to apply a little bit of glue. And as you can see, if we are using the same color, it blends really nicely. So it's hard to tell that this is actually glued in here. So now for this closure, we could use the opposite side that we have left over, and we're gonna cut also 1 inch strip. I will double check the length, and it's a little bit too long. So again, I'm gonna mark it just with my nail where to cut it. We're gonna cut it straight down, and let's double check again. So if we position this in here, it fits perfect. So we will apply the glue only on those 2 edges. And again, we are gluing this to make sure that you can still, you're not gonna cover with this side, you're not gonna cover this band. You need a little bit of space so we can actually slip this piece underneath and close it. So now we can slip this right underneath and fold it over. And that's our closure. Now on this one, original one that I made, I actually applied little square to cover portion of this, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. So as you can see it, for right now, I'm just pretty much eyeballing, or we can just make it mark where we want to cut this. And this one I can't see, so let's do this. So it can't be longer than my mark, and it can't be wider than my mark. So now I am just gonna cut this. I am gonna cut that. I will try it, and I think it will cover beautifully. It doesn't have to cover 100%, but I just don't want this look. I want this piece to match the rest of the page. So now I'm gonna apply it right here. Let's make sure that this is stuck. And we got next page done. Okay. So now, and I think I used up the piece that I cut it for the side. I did. That's okay. I still have this left, which I can cut. Just like that. So this pocket will be a little bit smaller, but I'm fine with that. And now we will create that angle. So approximately 1 inch, 1 inch. We will cut it across. And we will position this right here. So I'm gonna apply glue only on this side, that's the bottom, and the side of our pocket. And we will apply it just like that. All right, we got next page done. Now, when we turn it to the side, this is the pocket that we created when we glued those two main pieces together. So I want this to be just a little bit different, and I need to add a little bit color to that. So I'm going back to my stash, and this is what I have. So why not? We can use this. And let me see if I got something else. I also have this left. All right, I had this one left also. Little leftover pieces that I have. So I think I'm gonna use some combination from here to create those two pages. So let me see. Let's see which strips I can cut out. So I think I'm gonna use those two strips, and this is approximately 1.5 inches. So I will use this, and from this piece I think I'm gonna use this one. now I want to identify this packet. So I could use really anything with the gold, it will work. So I think maybe I use this border. So let me just trim it a little bit. And I will use only that thin strip. And I think I will glue it just like that to identify where that packet is. So again, I'm just gonna mark it with my finger where I need to cut it. Let's try it. Because you see this packet is blending so well, if we won't mark the edge, you won't be able to notice where that packet really is. So I'm gonna apply the glue. And now, if you have any leftover paper, it's easier to put it in here, so at least you can see where you need to apply this. So here is the border for this side. We have little packet. I have some uncut tags. You can see we can place them right here. So now we got this side left. For this side, I am gonna use one of these two pieces, and I think I'm gonna use this one. So we need approximately 3 1/4, maybe a little bit more because our page is 3.5, so maybe a smidge shorter than 3.5. And that will be our packet right here on the bottom. So we apply the glue only on 3 sides, thin strip of glue, and we're gonna place it just like that in here. All right, and now we need to create the second packet on the top, which I want this to be coordinated, so I will not use the same one. I will cut off this smaller piece. I want just a little bit different. So let me trim this. Again, our page is 3.5, so we're gonna cut this just a smidge shorter than 3.5, and that will be the separation for the top, just the way we have on the previous one that I previously made. So on this one, we just apply the glue to 2 sides, just a thin strip of glue, just like that, and our page is done. So now I do have some cutouts, some tags, some different things that came with this particular paper pad. So we can cut some out. So you know, if you're planning to make this for someone as a gift, how cute it would be to put little messages like that. So whoever gets your gift, when they remove the little note, it says smile. How cute is this? So now I do have some tags. that we can place it right here. We can place another one behind that. We got a little note card that we can place it, or a tag, another tag. Now in here we did place something already. Maybe we put this one, it stands out a little bit more. So now we can close this. So I do have these little beads, and I bought these from Dollar Tree. I bought these from Dollar Tree. So what I did is I actually cut out a strip of it. And to just create little decoration, I did cut around to capture the two flowers. So I did cut it around. I removed the backing, just like that. And I applied right here on that closure. How cute is this? I really like it. So now, if we go to the other side, this is our flap, and I have done the same thing on this side. So I cut out the little flowers, and actually I think we can fit 3 flowers. Let's see, they will fit. So we apply it here, we got little bling. Now I do have some little tags, little die-cutted tags that we can place it right here. So we are almost done. Now we need to decorate the front. So to decorate the front, we will use ribbon. So make sure that you have long enough ribbon for the closure. If you need to trim it later on, that's really no problem. We can trim it. But wrap around the ribbon around your note, your little folio, just like that, so the ends are even, because this is how you're going to be tying from this side. Now, to make sure that ribbon stays in place, I will use double-sided tape. And I will also use one of those tags that I bought at Dollar Tree, but I will use only one side of it. This side, there's some kind of writing on it, so I will just cut this off nicely, just like that, and that will become the front. So I am going to try to position ribbon on the middle right here, and I'm going to use this as a guide for my tape. So I want to make sure that my tape is shorter than the middle of this piece, the middle of the width, and I will position in here right on the middle. So now let's remove the backing. Let me squish it first. I will wrap that ribbon around right on the top of the tape. And now on top of this ribbon, I don't know if I have to or not, but I will apply another double-sided tape just as an additional reinforcement, because I really want this ribbon to stay put. And we will try to remove that backing. And my tool is getting stuck on the top of the ribbon. Here you go. So now I will apply the glue onto the back of this piece, on the entire piece. And we will just glue it just like that on the middle of this. So now let me open this up so we can kind of squish this and make sure that everything adheres. All right, so now we are almost done. So now in the one that I made, I put a little sticker on the top, and this one says just be you, and that also came from the collection that I had. So I will just trim this because I want this to be a little bit smaller. And again, it depends, up to you what you want to place it in there. Use your imagination. But I think this is a nice sign. You will do great things. So I will apply it just like that. And now for decoration, I will be using some of my clear stickers. So I have quite few of them, and I don't necessarily want anything big. So I have a lot of different ones. Actually, I like this one, little telephone. So maybe if you're giving this as a gift to someone, maybe you want them, remind them to call you every time they open it. So I'm gonna put little phone. And let's place a little flower. It's kind of orange, so it will fit nicely, I think, with this message right here. So now when we open this, it's totally up to you how you want to decorate this, because I am using some flowers in this piece. I am gonna put flowers as a decoration. And these are holding pretty well. So I don't know, let me take maybe the little tool. Here you go. It's much easier with that. So again, I don't want to put too much, but the little touch on individual pages, just to kind of make it a little bit more interesting. Why not? Now in here, we can place another tag. Over here, maybe I place this. In here, maybe a little hello. In here we can place another card, possibly, if that's what you want. I think I don't want to over decorate this. So if we go to the other side, I like this one, kind of with little orange. So just a little touch of additional color, and I think this one is perfectly fine. So let me put all those away. So as you can see, we just made that beautiful folio that we can close. We can create a little bow. Oops. Wrap this around. Oops, it's coming up. Okay. Now, if these are too long, trim them. And this is our project. So I hope you like that. I hope you enjoyed watching me making that. I hope you will make some of your own. So as you can see, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 different pages, sides. So there is plenty of room. I really love this packet because when you open it, there is just so many different things you can put it in here. So it is, you know, this project is small, it's kind of compact, but you can put so much inside of it. I think you're really gonna enjoy it, and I hope you do. So on this side, you can see we got beautiful pages. So let me close this, make it a little bow. And here you go. So this is one that we just made, and this is the one that I made previously. So I hope you liked that. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for being here with me, watching this video, and I hope to see you soon in my next one.